So welcome to the webinar with Chooch and Skywatch. Chooch AI is visual AI on the edge and in the cloud, and you can use Chooch for many different applications. But today we're going to talk about geospatial and how to both acquire and train our computer vision service with geospatial data. And we're going to invite our partner Skywatch to present how their platform works as well. And then we're going to give you a demo of how to annotate and use computer vision to identify objects with geospatial imagery. Skywatch is easy access to Earth observation, and we're going to have them give a little talk about what they do a little bit later in this presentation. So welcome to everybody. The problems that Chooch solves are things like, what vehicle arrived at this location, or how many cells are in this slide, or was the patient anesthetized, or should we give this person access? And different, what all of these use cases have in common is that the AI has been trained with objects. So we train the AI to identify what a vehicle is, or what an anesthesiology mask is, or what a cell nuclei is, or what the biometric features of a person's face, so we can authenticate them to access data or locations. And that's the commonality of all of these. And what's similar between these and geospatial data is we can identify objects in satellite imagery, geospatial imagery, imagery from drones, and so forth. How do we do that? So Chooch is a very easy to train system. If we expose Chooch to what an eye is, we can tag the eye or annotate the eye in images and then upload them to, after we've uploaded them to the system. And then when we process the annotated imagery, it becomes a neural network within the system. This is known as machine learning. And we classify objects with an image, we classify images themselves, we can classify actions, anomalies, things that are different. You can create a baseline and then what the anomalies might be. And again, we can tag faces. Each of these types of models use a different kind of math, a different kind of process. There's things like TensorFlow or MXNet and so forth that are used depending on what the results we're looking for, or the type of imagery we're trying to create neural networks around. That's the machine learning process. And we've created a dashboard that does this in a very simple, usable way. This is, the cloud AI features we're going to be talking about are the dashboard, an API that connects our dashboard with other services. This is also deployable on the edge. We have a small export tool that allows you to put a small bit of code on so for example, a Raspberry Pi, then connect that Raspberry Pi to a camera. And then you can use our inference engine to identify objects in images remotely and send those to the cloud. Again, we can do object, image, facial recognition training as a service. Right now we have 200,000 public classes. These are images like you see in the slide. You see these are space imagery. These are constellations that we can identify based on prior training. Let's keep going here. Whoopsie, I skipped a slide ahead. So one thing we've trained Chooch to do is identify objects using synthetic aperture radar. We can identify objects on the ground with greater than 99% accuracy. If you look at the colored bars here, you see 0.998, 0.999. That's the degree of accuracy, 99.8% accurate. And we did this by tagging these objects in synthetic aperture radar data, uploading them to, after they've been uploaded to our system, then running them through our machine learning process And now you can expose the system to new synthetic aperture radar data, and objects are identified with a high degree of accuracy. A little bit later, we're going to demonstrate how this works. This is satellite imagery of wildfires, and you can see in the slide that we've identified these smoke plumes as wildfires with a high degree of accuracy, just like in the last slide. Now I'm going to turn the talk over to Greg, and he's going to talk about Skywatch and what Earth Cache is. Greg?
Yep, thanks, Jeff, and thanks for having us and leveraging us for this. It's really cool. So yeah, just a quick run out of our platform. We are effectively like the easiest way to get satellite data in the industry. So what we do is we aggregate sources from or data from multiple sources, which means that you don't need to go to a single vendor each time to get your data. You can go through us to reach all the vendors that we're connected to. We do have a pay-as-you-go model, which says here, that actually means for us that we charge per square kilometer. So traditionally you have to buy 25 square kilometers for archive. Through us, it's 1. You're basically paying for the data that you need without having to. And also just through us, one API call to reach all of our vendors. So you can make a single post and a single get to get your data from any of our providers, that if the data is available. And if it's not available, we can actually tell a satellite to go out and get you fresh data through a tasking request. And if you're interested, you can always apply on our website at skywatch.com. And myself or one of our team will be there to help you get started. And then I guess here, so we have what is a post call, which is actually used to call our API. I'm not a developer by any stretch of the imagination, and I can make a call to our platform using this method. So just to give some context, right here we have the JSON or the coordinates that are in the middle of your screen there. Those define the polygon or the area we're searching. There's a start and end date for this area, which means the start of your search and the end of your search. There's an interval, which states how frequently you want imagery within that start and end date. And then there's some extra settings like resolution, resolution range. So resolutions you can accept for a project, so a high and a low. And then your output ID, which is how we deliver the data to you. So if you wanted NDVI or a true color or some other kind of processing, we can provide that as well. So I think we're good to go there.
Yeah.
And then finally, we just have ways to effectively help you find resolutions you're looking for. So I believe for this example, for what Chooch was running, they were using open data, which is normally 10 or 30 meter resolution. But we work with all of our users to find the right pixel dimensions for their use cases. So as a really quick example, if you're running an algorithm and you want to count cars, there's potentially a breakpoint in resolution where it's not useful anymore. That tends to be around 80 centimeters to 1 meter, but it's effectively what it means is we're searching for the resolutions where cars can no longer be accurately read by a machine or identified by a machine. And we work closely with all of our users to make sure that they're getting the right data for all of their use cases so that they can grow as fast as possible. And that's really us in a nutshell. So if you're interested, please reach out. We'd be happy to discuss.
Great, thank you so much, Greg. I'm going to go to the next slide. So we're going to show you a demo now with Emra Gultekin. But I wanted to give a shout out to Joseph Spence, who's on the webinar. He helped he's from Space Apps NYC, and he helped us put this together and send out an invite and so forth and connected us with Skywatch. So I appreciate that a lot, Joseph. Emra, are you able to talk now? Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to make Emra the host, and Emra Gultekin is the CEO of Chooch, and he's going to give you a walkthrough of the system. Thanks. Okay. All right. There you go, Emra. Here you go. Are you able to share your screen now, Emra?
Yes, I am. I'm just pulling it up right now.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, can you see my screen now?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Greg. And appreciate everyone who's on the call. Basically, what this is here is the Chooch Dashboard, and we're right now at the training part of it, which is here. You would click on training, and it would land you here, which is my facial, my image, my object. And for this particular use case, we're using object recognition. So we're clicked onto the object part of it, the object perceptions. And over here, you can see a few of the perceptions that have been trained. We've trained an airplane, which is a really basic one. And we've also trained here, which is something much more complex, is the XView2, which is for disaster relief with the DIU. And we also have here wildfires, just a basic training of wildfires as well. And we have some SAR imagery and some MSTAR data set as well. So we'll go through a couple of these for you to see how it works and how you can also annotate and train Chooch by yourself. So if we click on here, you see here the airplane perception, which is airplane status version 4. It's part of the data set 741, and you can see here that it's just a single class. It's just airplanes. So very, very basic stuff. What we do here is we would test it out, and here we take one of these images. Let's take this one. And basically what it does is it detects all the planes on that image. And so this is a way to test whether your model is working. And what you do with this is you plug it into your API, so you'd be able to run several images simultaneously. So you can run up to 200 images in a second here, just to give you the scale of the capability over here. Let's go back. Let's go back to one of the perceptions, give you something more complex. So this is something we did with the DIU. It's the XView data set for disaster relief. And here you have the data set, which was provided by them. And here you have the different classes, which you had here: a building destroyed, a building with major damage, a building with minor damage, and you would have buildings which are where there's no damage, basically. So what you do here is we train these in a very short period of time, and we can try to, let's do this. So this is one of the images from the test data set that you basically upload, and you run this through the API, and it will give you JSON response the same way. And over here you would see the assets on the ground. So these are buildings, and it would actually tell you whether there's damage or not. So the purple is basically means the building's destroyed. The red is building has major damage. The pink is building has minor damage, and the blue is building has no damage. So this is from one of the actual natural disasters that occur. You could try another one here just to give you a flavor. Try this one. Here you would have the same thing. So purple ones, the buildings are destroyed. Red ones, the buildings have major damage. The pink ones have minor damage, and the blue ones have no damage. So imagine running this through a video stream of thousands of images during and before and after a natural disaster. Do one more here. Let's go back to the object detection perceptions. Let's try a wildfire one. And this is also, these are all optical, but you can also train, obviously, SAR imagery, as Jeff mentioned, and other types of infrared imagery as well. So here you have single classes again, and you're going to upload an image of wildfire, and boom, there you go. Sees a plume of smoke and detects it, and then sends an alert to whoever needs to be alerted for that. Then this is for optical, and you can actually do it for other types of imagery as well, and we're working on that too. So here, so these are the perceptions, some of the perceptions geospatial. What I want to do is also show you how to annotate. So if you have your own data and you want to upload it and train Chooch to be a specific, to be able to understand specific things in geospatial, you can do that on the system. And I will go to data sets over here. Sorry, let's go back here. So over here you have data sets. We've uploaded one for planes at airfields. It's basic. And here you would, you basically what you're doing is you would annotate. So let's annotate this one. And you would call it, you know, whatever it is 737-7. If you're an expert in this field, you would know what these planes are, and you would annotate based on that. And you keep annotating each image, basically training it. So you can do the same thing here, just drawing a bounding box around it. 727. And here on the left-hand side, it would tell you, so we need at least 30 images for each annotated class in order to make it functional. We'd like to have 100, but it starts working with about 30, and it'll tell you over here on the left-hand side how much are left. And once this is complete, it'll tell you that your data set is complete. And then you can go back here to your object perception, and you would basically create a perception out of it. So you can create a perception, call it anything you want, and you would select your data set, which would appear here once it's complete, and it would create that and it'll start training. So all of these have been trained that way. The ones that you see here, like the airplane stuff, the XView, wildfire, the SAR imagery, and the MSTAR. And so, yeah, it's a very, very intuitive system. I'm not an engineer, and I can use it. A lot of our administrators use it as well. So it's a no-code AI, and it's quite powerful and very easy to use and very easy to deploy. And if you go back here to your dashboard, you will see your API key here, which is how you connect. And here you have API documentation, where you can basically plug your system into Chooch so that it's doing the inferencing and training as well. So that's it in a nutshell. And yeah, I'll hand it back over to Jeff and Greg and to our viewers who may have some questions.
Well, thank you, Greg and Emra. I appreciate the presentations. So the first question from the audience is, so how do you use the APIs to connect these systems? You know, if either of you wants to propose something, please. Yeah.
I can start at least, Emra. Maybe you can follow it up if that's okay.
Sure, sounds good.
Sure. So with our API, basically, we consider ourselves a power source. So we're here to power like computer vision algos like Chooch has just made. So through us, you can get the data you're looking for. But in terms of tracking the fires, you may need to do some other kind of research to understand where they are initially. So we are able to help with getting data from a certain location. And then bring it into a system like Chooch's, you can then leverage the data to you know, try and solve whatever problem you're trying to solve. So the quick post call with us will get the data, and then you can run it through your systems to you know, get whatever kind of output you're looking to achieve.
Thanks.
Awesome. Yeah, the data part of it is crucial. I think. I mean, we run into that every day, and so we're not a data provider. Skywatch is. So that's where Skywatch comes in terms of providing data. And then once you have the data, though, you need to do a few things. The first thing is train the AI to understand what you're looking for, and that comes with the segmentation and annotation. So you collect the data. A human would initially annotate it or label it, and then they would put that into the system. So referencing that seed of data, And then the second thing that would happen is you would get the stream of data coming from a data provider to make predictions, so inferencing. So once the AI is trained, the reason you train it is to be able to make predictions on incoming streams. And so Skywatch also provides that, and that would be that data would be coming through Skywatch into the Chooch API, and the Chooch API, once trained by the customer or using the pre-trained classifications, would send back JSON responses with what it finds in those images. So being able to do that at 200 images per second, even if you're just a normal user, that creates a lot of power in terms of creating analytics for those images coming in. So two APIs, one's for the data, as Skywatch mentioned, and then the second API is for AI training and predictions.
Thanks, Amra. Yeah, so for example, I'm sure there's many people out there who can think of applications for this. For example, one thought we have is you could track, you saw the airplane imagery. So you could use Chooch and Skywatch to track air traffic at all the airports in the United States, for example, constantly streaming the satellite imagery back to Chooch and have Chooch count or report back the types of airplanes and the number of airplanes at airports all around the country, or any object that you're looking to track. Those are great examples.
Right, and in very high detail. So remember, it's not just airplane, it's like 747 type of aircraft, the position of the aircraft. Even if you can get down to high resolution, as Greg mentioned, like 30 centimeters or whatever, you can get to, basically the condition of the aircraft or the condition of the building, like we did with XView. It's very, and the XView data was at 3 to 5 meters, so it's not perfect data in terms of, but it was enough to understand the condition of the building. So whether it's still standing or destroyed or has minor or major damage.
Mm-hmm. Here's another question. First to Skywatch. Does Skywatch offer any services to help people get started with this? Is there any way to, help this person, this company, install the API or arrange to get the data? Figure out
yeah so at our core, like our company really we believe that we need to grow our users to grow the market and to grow the usage of satellite data in general, because we believe it's fairly underused just because of how hard it's been historically to get in general. So anyone coming to our platform and wants to work with us, we will work with them on a one-on-one basis with one of our, I guess what we would call an account executive, to help you get started on the API and then grow your business from there. So whether that means you need help finding data or you need help with some kind of bulk discount to monitor certain locations, we're there every step of the way. So we succeed when our users succeed. That's how our business model is designed. So we don't leave anyone in the dust. Anyone that's with us is from start to finish with at least one of our team members at all times.
Great. Thanks, Greg. And, Emma, do you want to describe the kind of services that Chooch provides?
Yeah, so we provide an API, but beyond that, it's more of a solutions-driven platform. So we provide solutions for training the AI to our clients, and also the annotation labeling of the data, and also the integration of the AI to their current systems. So whether that's on the cloud or on the edge, we provide that entire package for our clients today.
Thanks, Emra. I don't see any more questions out there. So thank you very much. Are there any final comments that you want to leave us with, Greg or Emra, before we sign off?
Yeah, first from us, we really appreciate you guys keeping us in mind and leveraging us for this project. We think it was really cool, and we're really impressed with what you guys pulled off, or what your team pulled off. And yeah, like I said, if anyone is interested, we'd be happy to discuss whether you just want to poke ideas around for a use case, or to work with us to build some kind of some application for your the problem that you're trying to solve in your vertical. We're always here to help and help grow the industry as a whole. So please don't hesitate to reach out, even if you think it's just a starting idea.
Great. Emma, anything else? Or are we good to go? This has been great.
Yeah, it's great to be on with all of you and the viewers as well. I think this what we're dealing with here is a new evolution in visual intelligence, and part of that is geospatial, obviously, and we talk about it a lot, but getting things into production and making it useful and easy to use for everybody out there has been a challenge. And I think we're getting there in terms of deployment, and we're here to grok the planet in a way, to understand our planet better and what people are doing on it better, in order to just create more efficiency and to provide productivity to the enterprises as well. So if anyone's out there who's listening and wants more information on how we're doing this and why we're doing this, and like if they have ideas on projects and certain things they're trying to solve, we're here to listen and to provide those solutions for them. So thank you, Greg and Jeff, for this. Really
sure. Thanks, Emma. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. And if you want to see a quick demo of Chooch, our iPhone app and Android app are available at chooch.ai/demo. It's pretty fun to check out. It's AI that actually will work on your phone. All right. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Yep. Bye-bye.